from now we are recording. Okay, so welcome to Scarlett also that is with us. Well, so I told you that yesterday, the last part that we did, we checked the exercise 3B, and I asked you to prepare a letter supporting, maybe, or objecting if you wanted, to one of these proposals that we have here in the book, right? We were given 4 proposals, and I don't know what you decided to write about. And the idea was to write the letter using, of course, try to use a formal, of course, style. That's the idea, is not to use, for example, constructions, because they are not used there, or contracted forms, as you want to know. That was the most important thing, right? Well, the idea is to check, at least to pick up one of you maybe at random, and you can tell me what you did yesterday in the house in the afternoon. Scarlett, did you write a letter?
Miss, I forgot.
Come on, Scarlett. I don't believe it.
I'm sorry.
You have to do it, Scarlett. This is a very good way to practice your English, right? Juanito Rivera, did you do it?
No, I apologize. I didn't understand very well the
come on, but you have the instructions there, baby. The instructions are very clear, and you have it there. It's written. Everything is written. La Valentina, did you do something here, Valentina?
I tried. I made like the first 2 steps, and then I forgot and I started doing something else. I'm sorry.
That's very bad. What about Carlos?
Wait, I'm doing it now. Wait. No, yes, I did it.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, so now I feel much better. At least one student, did something. Very good.
Well, don't feel that way. I'm not sure.
No, don't worry, because the thing is that,
sure if I did.
Yeah, but it's good. Carlos, anyway, I congratulate on what you did. So maybe you can start, you can read it and I can help you in case that you have some problems, right? So as to know at least if you maybe had the idea in mind, right? Okay, can you start just to check this?
Okay, let me open the...
Okay, the computer.
It was a letter proposal.
Yeah, it was a proposal. The idea was to choose or to object or to support, this proposal, one of these proposals.
Which
one did you choose? Which one?
About the vending machines.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
And the healthy snacks.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Well, upsetment is a real word, right? Upsetment.
Yeah, but how did you start the letter?
Okay. Dear Mr. DeWitt.
Yeah.
I am writing to let you know about our upsetment because of due to the idea of putting vending machines with health snacks only. Or was it?
Yeah, with healthy snacks, right? With healthy snacks only. All right.
Yeah. There are many problems. There are many problems about this idea that will affect our employees. The first one is that healthy snacks cost more money, and because of that, people will start complaining, and they will reduce their motivation at work.
Okay.
In addition, we must also notice that not everyone eats this type of food. Therefore, this will result in more upsetment at work and less money for the vending machines and for you. Having considering all this is a troublesome situation. What is everyone going to eat if they don't like these snacks? Are you getting rid of the old vending machines? And Pero yeah, that's it.
Okay, so but how are you going to finish this? Maybe with that idea.
That's the point. I mean, I knew I had to say something about, yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting with you and that sort of things, but I guess I didn't.
Or maybe you
Yeah.
can say, I request, for example, I request a meeting, to discuss with you about the advantages or disadvantages of having a machine like this. That's what you can say. You see, so I request you a meeting to discuss, the advantages or disadvantages, of this kind of machine. That could be, a good way to answer your letter. And then you put, of
Okay.
course,
Yeah.
yours, since you know Carlos, something important. Since you know the name of the person you're writing to, you can say yours sincerely, comma. That's the typical way, the formal way, to say goodbye to someone. When we know the name, like in this case, so you put yours sincerely, comma, and of course your name. You can be the representative of someone or just your name, right?
Okay.
Okay, Carlos, and in case, but I'm not very sure, but in case that sometimes it is also important, for example, you can also write in the letter your address. If you write your address, you put it on the right top of the letter, on the right, hand corner, okay? Right hand corner. And the address of the person you're writing to, you have to write it on the left, okay? On the left. That's very
You
important.
mean
Right of the letter, so you have the letter on your right, on the corner, on the hand right side of the corner, this is your address. On the left, so this the other part where you write dear sirs, but before that, you put, the address of the person you're writing to, Mr. or dear sir, tanto, manager of the company, for example, let's say Ambrosoli Company, and the address is Camino, I don't know what's the name of the Camino
But-
something in Concon and Viña del Mar.
You mean the
And
address of
person
his or
you're-
her?
Yeah, the person you're
of
writing.
the place where they work?
Yeah, the place where that person works, or in the case you're writing to someone that maybe you know where he lives, but this is not the manager. Maybe it could be a person that you, for example, you have met, or it could be sometimes, well, if it is a friend, you never put the address because this is informal, right? But when it's informal, when you write to someone that is formal, a formal letter, you have to put the address, in that position, okay? Remember, your address, this is something really important here in English, your address, as I told you, top right-hand side. In the case of the person you're writing to, and if it is for example, like an important person because he's the owner of the vending machines, for example, he has a company about this, well, you put the address of this person. It could be the address of the company. It's very common not to write the address of the private, place where he lives, but the address of where he works. That's the idea of the company, right? And then dear Mr. something, okay? But you have a good idea. I enjoyed, what you read about the letter, this letter. I think it's a very, it has the most important contents of what you are writing, okay? So this, I think it's quite clear. Is there someone that wants to share the letter with us? Because at the end, in this point number 6, the idea is to exchange the letters with your partner. So we have exchanged only one letter in this moment, that is Carlos, letter. Braulio, did you write something? That I guess that you're very good at writing.
Yeah, but Miss, I did not. I'm sorry.
Why not? Why not? Give me a good reason.
I can give you a good reason. Sure.
Come on, Braulio, you're a good student, so you should have just spent how many minutes? 15 minutes, no more? 20 minutes? No more
I
than
know.
that. Yeah, so please try to do it. Tiare, did you do the letter? Did you write something? Is Tiare with us? What about your microphone, Tiare? Are you here or not? Sometimes Tiare goes to see, her little brothers. Tiare, are you here or not? I guess she's still maybe somewhere. Then we can ask her again, all right? Okay, baby, so people who didn't do this activity, please try to do it for next class because I can correct that, you know, while you are exchanging your letter with the rest of your partners, okay? So please try to do it. I mean, it's a good thing to practice because you need practicing, right? I mean, don't stay there just doing nothing because you have been doing anything for a while. I mean, just for 2 months or more. Okay, baby, so now we are going to start then unit 6F. Please, if you have the book there, it's important to go to this unit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the book, right? Because we're going to need the book, right? Because we have to watch a video in this class. So I'm going to share the screen to look for the book, right? Wait a minute, give me some seconds. This is slide 4 and unit 6F. 6F. Unit 5, unit 6. Okay, so here we are, right? This is the unit that we have to check. Right, before this, wait a minute. Okay, yeah. So the idea here is to watch, you know, a video, right? But before watching the video, right, we have something that is called before you watch. Well, as you see, you have a picture first, a picture about this book. Let me see if I can find it, if this allows me to go back. Yeah, here. You see, here you have, this is the unit that we are going to check today. This is a video. And here we have, you know, this is a picture about, you know, this is a kind of fish, as you can see. And it says dangerous dining, okay? And here it says eating this fish is like playing, you know, a dangerous game. That's what it says here, okay? Well, as you can see, in this place, you know, we have lots of, I think this is a street that is always maybe crowded. And this is a street that you see lots of, you know, I mean, let's say stores, and we can see maybe restaurants and different kinds of stores, right? Well, the thing is that I would like you to pay attention to this that says eating this fish is like playing a dangerous game. Why do you think, Braulio, what do you think that, you know, I mean, or what do you mean by eating this fish is like playing a dangerous game?
Because it has poison.
Yeah.
So in order to eat it, you have to cut the pieces that are not poisoned. So it's like a bet.
Yeah. So why is it like playing like a dangerous game? So what is the idea of this? What does this caption, this is a caption, what does it suggest?
That you can die if you lose the game. I mean,
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so you don't know, right? It's like playing a very dangerous game because if you eat or if you try a piece of this, you know, fish, for example, or just a little bit of this, you never know what is going to happen with you, right? Especially people that, for example, are not from this country, people that come from other countries, like, for example, tourists, if they go to this main street and if they see a restaurant and, you know, we can see this fish, for example, that says, come here and try this fish, which is very delicious because people say that it's really delicious. And maybe you can be tempted, you know, and enter the place. And the chefs can say, we have, for example, this fish today. And so you can try. We can tell you that maybe you're going to experience something really delicious. You can taste something really out of this world. And you say, okay, all right. So you're playing a very dangerous, game, because you don't know if you're going to leave the restaurant maybe, or if you're going to maybe stay there and then you can go to another place in the world, right? Maybe you can die at the end. Okay, it says number 1. What does it say here in number 1? Number 1 says, where was the photo taken? Do you know where was the photo taken? Do you know that? Any idea? Any idea about this?
It
Looks like
looks
Japan.
like,
Yeah,
yeah,
like
that,
what? In Japan, okay. Okay, this is specifically, we're talking about, I think, Tokyo. All right, good. And well, we can notice because of the, maybe here we have some ads, that are advertising the places, and you see, the language, that is, used here. So that's why you say Japan. All right, good. Number 2. Number 2 says here, this is a question for you. Would you eat this fish in a restaurant? This one that you have in the picture. This is the fish, right? This is it looks like maybe like a balloon sometimes. They also sometimes call like this, similar to this. Pez globo, they say in Spanish sometimes. That's why it looks like a balloon, as I told you. So would you, eat this fish in a restaurant? Valentina, for example, if you see this fish and if someone, for example, is trying to, let's say, to catch customers to come in a restaurant, and the person that is, in the main door tells you, hey, come in, try this fish because it's really delicious. Would you enter the restaurant and try this fish?
I will think about it twice.
Yeah.
Since I know that the puffer fish is really
Dangerous?
poisonous.
Yeah.
It's poisonous.
Okay.
So if I would like to try that dish, I will go to maybe a fancier restaurant, because I don't know if that restaurant, the chef, can cook the fish in the right place.
Wait, yeah. Okay, me too. So I have to be very sure, if for example, the chef in this case knows how to prepare this fish. Otherwise, I would say, no, thank you. Maybe I can do it next time, but not now. Yes, that's right. Good, thank you. Well, number 3, this is the one that Braulio, answered, right? That says, what does the caption suggest about the fish? This is the caption, right? And he said that, well, this is kind of dangerous because the fish, contains poison, right? Okay, now it says in number 2, we have to mark the things you think, because we are not sure, you think, right? You will see people doing in this video. For example, do you think that you will see people, because we have an idea that we are going to see a video about, dangerous dining, and maybe because of the name, they are going to show us, how to prepare probably this kind of fish. And so what things do you think you will see doing in this video? Do you think you will see buying fish or not? Catching fish, cooking fish, cutting fish, and eating fish. What do you think? Let's see. I think Gloria is with us. Gloria Mena. Gloria, what do you think? Buying fish? Do you think you will see people doing this in the video? Buying fish?
Yes.
Yes? And catching fish?
Yeah.
Catching fish?
No.
No.
I don't think so.
Cooking fish?
Yes.
Yeah. And cutting fish?
Yes.
Yes. And eating fish?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So maybe the only word that you were not very sure because, you hesitated is, catching fish. Yeah, this is the one that you think we are not going to see in the video when you catch a fish. Yeah, because most of the time, when we see these kind of things, maybe we can see the fish, but we don't see, the moment where people are catching, the fish. Yeah, I agree with you. Then we can find this. Babies, a question for all of you. Do you know any other, for example, fish, or it could be rodent, etc., that can be very dangerous, that when people eat, for example, that can cause death? Any idea?
I know there's a drink, an alcoholic drink that you can, I mean, buy that
Yeah.
is legal and uses snake poison,
Wow.
and it is safe,
Mhm.
but you can always have some disease because of it, or something like that, an illness.
Wow. Yeah. Yes. I also know that there's this is a variety of a rodent that is called marmot. Have you heard about that? The marmot, la marmota, marmot. That in some countries, people eat marmots. They, of course, they prepare in a very, let's say, special way, and they offer people to eat marmot. And this is also kind of dangerous, right? Because they can cause, I mean, for example, a disease, a very dangerous, serious disease on people, right? I just listened, 2 days ago, that a priest not here in Chile, abroad, ate, marmot, and now he is, in a hospital, and he is very, very sick, and the disease that he's having now because of eating marmot is the bubonic plague. Do you remember that? La peste bubónica, that's very old. Es muy antigua, bubonic plague. That it says that marmots can have this, virus, so they can transmit to, human beings. And now, today, just 2 days ago, this priest is, in a hospital, and they are trying to, to save him, but he's very bad in this moment, right? Because of, you know, having eaten, this kind of, rodent. This is a variety of rodent, I think, marmot. Okay, so let's go to this, and I'm going to invite you to watch this video about this fish that is called. Do you know the name of this one? How do you call this? What is the name of this fish that is called pez globo? How do you call it in English?
Blowfish?
Sorry?
Blowfish.
Yeah, but he has another name.
Pufferfish.
Which one?
Fish?
Fuku.
Fugu.
Fugu. Okay, yes, that is fugu. Fugu. Or the other name that they call is puffer. Puffer fish, puffer, Puffer, puffer fish, or fugu. That is very common. Most people call fugu. Fu, Gu, fugu. That is very common, fugu. Fugu or puffer fish, or fugu, right? That's the name. Okay, so it says here, while you watch the video, what we're going to do, we're going to watch, maybe the whole video, and then we can go back again in case that it is, necessary. And then we are going to answer, the questions, right? Okay, are you ready? So here we go. Oops, sorry. Here it is. Dangerous dining.
Fish is a major food in Japan. Every morning, thousands of fish sellers crowd the famous Tsukiji seafood market in Tokyo. Here, no product has a higher price than the one that's the most dangerous, the puffer fish, or fugu. Eating this fish is like playing a dangerous game. If a person gets a piece that has poison in it, he or she may die. Despite the danger, fugu appears on more than 80 menus in the Asakusa restaurant area of Tokyo. The puffer is so ugly, it's cute, but it doesn't fool most diners. Tom Caradonna has come to Tokyo for the complete fugu experience, and he's brought his friend, Aki. Wisely, Tom has chosen to eat at the famous Matsumoto restaurant. This fugu restaurant is 120 years old, and it's well known for its careful preparation of puffer fish. That's important when you're taking risks with a deadly poison.
I'd heard stories about people dying, trying fugu, but it hasn't really concerned me.
Even though Tom isn't too worried to try fugu, there is a big risk. Over the years, hundreds of people have died from eating it. Chef Hayashi is the one who must prepare the fish safely so that Tom and Aki don't get sick.
It'll be fine. Don't worry. I've been doing this for 53 years. I took the exam in 1949 and passed. This is my fugu chef license.
After World War II, there were many deaths from eating fugu. Many Japanese people were very hungry, and some looked for food in restaurant waste. Sometimes they found fugu, which had been thrown out. When they cooked and ate the fish, they got sick or died. Eventually, General Douglas MacArthur, who led the U.S. forces in Japan, created strict controls and regulations. Fugu chefs had to get licenses for preparing and serving puffer fish. Even with more regulations, fugu killed 2,500 Japanese people between 1945 and 1975. Regulations and education have cut the number of deaths to only 3 annually, but many diners still get sick.
About 70% of the poisonings happen in private homes where people catch and prepare fugu on their own and get poisoned. That's most common.
At the Tokyo University of Fisheries, Yuji Nagashima studies fugu poison carefully. He hopes to develop an antitoxin, a medicine that will stop people from dying from fugu poisoning.
A tiger fugu has enough toxin to kill 30 people. The toxin itself, to give you an idea, is 1,000 times stronger than cyanide.
1 milligram of the toxin is strong enough to kill a person. It kills by paralyzing people's nerves so that they can't move. It also paralyzes the lungs so that they can't breathe. The only way to save them is to use a respirator. This special machine can breathe for them until the toxin wears off.
This is the heart. These are the gills. They are poison.
Toxins make about half of the puffer fish impossible to eat. Chef Hayashi throws those parts out and then cuts the remaining flesh very thinly. He then places the fugu on a plate in the shape of a chrysanthemum, a beautiful flower that's popular in Japan. Appropriately, it's also a common flower at funerals.
So great.
A fugu meal is usually 8 different dishes, including sake that is topped with a cooked fugu fin.
And I still feel fine.
And grilled fugu. The puffer fish may be dangerous, but for some, it's a delicious meal. Luckily, Tom has survived his dangerous dining experience, at least this time.
Well, okay. So you could see now the guy fortunately has survived, right? Okay, so what we're going to do then, that's it. All right, so we are going to watch the first part of the video. I mean, I'm not going to watch it again, but you can do the exercises, okay? So let me see here. It says, puffer fish. Well, before answering this, I want to make you some questions to be sure that you understood the video, right? So this is very important. So, you know, here we have that, as you know, this fish that is called, I told you, puffer fish or fugu, that's the name, is, you know, the major food in Japan, right? So there are many people that, you know, sometimes crowd the famous markets, especially the seafood markets, you know, to buy sometimes fugu, okay? This is very expensive, right? Because it says that here no product has a higher price, than the one that's the most dangerous, the puffer fish. So as you see, it's very expensive. And well, if a person, as we discussed at the beginning, if a person gets a piece of, that fish that has a poison in it, of course, that he or she may die. So this is something terrible. The thing is that in spite of being a dangerous kind of food, this fugu appears on more than 80 menus in Japan. So as you can see, people feel proud of this fish in Japan. There are very special places. There is an area in Tokyo, right, where you find lots of restaurants, and in all these restaurants, you can try fugu, okay? And something interesting, well, when I watched the video, of course, that I didn't think that the fugu was as ugly as you could see it, right? So the puffer is ugly. You see the mouth of the fish, very ugly. I didn't like it. So the puffer is so ugly, but it's cute, right? Let's say that. But it doesn't fool most diners. That's it, the thing, right? Well, as you see, there is a man there that comes to Japan, and he wants to try this fugu. He wants to have the experience of having fugu, and he has decided to go with someone that speaks Japanese, and that she can talk to the for example, to the chef in this case, to ask for the license. Remember that they need to have a license to prepare this kind of fish, right? Otherwise, they are not allowed. They are not allowed to prepare food. Okay, I mean, this kind of fish, right? Okay, this is a very famous restaurant that is called Matsumoto, right? That's the name of the restaurant in Japan. This is a very old restaurant. I think he's more than 120 years. Imagine, 120 years old, and it's well known, especially for the preparation of puffer fish. Well, and there are lots of stories about, I mean, people dying by trying fugu, but this, I mean, doesn't concern to this man. Okay, so and then we have the most interesting things about this. Well, this guy that will prepare fugu. In this case, he has done this for a lot of years. He says for 53 years. Imagine. So he has a lot of experience about preparing this kind of fish. But something terrible. We have to think that this was not a good piece of news, that after the World War II, you see, there were many deaths, right, from eating fugu. I think that was very bad, because many people, many Japanese people, died in those times. Well, and also because, remember, there was a war, and when the war was, for example, ending, you could see many Japanese, as you can see, for example, in some movies, many Japanese that were very hungry. So what did they do in those moments? They started looking for food. And what did they do? And they looked for food in restaurant waste. That was terrible. And they started eating fugu. And that's why many people died in those times, right? Because they didn't know how to prepare fugu, and they didn't have the utensils. Also, they didn't have, for example, the water to prepare this kind of food. And they ate the fish, so they got sick, and some of them died just after some minutes. Due to this issue, there was a man that was a general for those times, Douglas MacArthur, and this guy was the one that led these, let's say, the forces of the U.S. in Japan, and he created very, very, let's say, demanding, controls and regulations about this fugu. And that's from that time on that they started, asking for chefs to study, to go to a school and study how to prepare this fugu. And from that moment on is that they started asking them to have this kind of license. If you don't have the license, you are not, as I told you, allowed to work in a restaurant where fugu is in, you know, in the menu. Well, so, you know, more, so fugu, they say that fugu killed 2,000, imagine, 2,500, you know, Japanese, I mean, people between 1945 and 1975. Well, fortunately, with these regulations and the education of people, you see, so Japanese people could, you know, cut the number of deaths to only 3 annually, but many diners still get sick. So we have to be careful about that. Well, and what is the fact that they say that what is happening, for example, nowadays, today that we have, they say that about 70% of, you know, the poisonings happen where? In private homes. Now, it doesn't happen this in the restaurants. It is happening in the private homes, right? Because where people catch the fugu and then they take it home and they prepare it there. So they sometimes don't know how to get the poison from the fish. Now they say that this is very common there. Well, and then on the other hand, they remember that they say that there is a study in Japan, there is a university, that is the Tokyo University of Fisheries, that, you know, I mean, has studied fugu poison carefully. And what is the conclusion? They have concluded that, you know, the antitoxin, this is the maybe they are studying to develop this antitoxin, which is a medicine that they will stop, you know, people from dying from fugu poisoning. This is what they are trying to do. And they say that a tiger fugu has enough toxin to kill 30 people, 30, imagine 30 people, because the toxin, to have an idea, you know, I mean, the toxin is 1,000 times stronger than cyanide. So 1 milligram of this toxin is strong enough to kill someone, to kill a person. And how, for example, in what way it kills by, especially by paralyzing people's nerves, right? So that, of course, that you cannot breathe. This is something very, I think, terrible. You cannot move, right? So it paralyzes what? The lungs, so that the people can't breathe. And the only way to save these people is to have a respirator. So you have to use a respirator to try to save these people. Well, so this is the idea, and they usually, you know, take out the heart and the gills of these, I mean, fugu, because they are the ones that contain the poison. The heart is, I mean, the poison is in the heart and also in the gills, right? Okay, so this is the most important things about, you know, fugu, right? And now you can find this fugu on a plate in the shape of a chrysanthemum, which is a very beautiful flower, and it is popular in Japan. And what else? So you can feel, I mean, safe now because many people know how to prepare it. And what else they say? They also, the fugu can be grilled, and you can have a soup of fugu. There are different ways to prepare fugu, right? It may be dangerous, but for some, it is a delicious meal. Okay, so this is, you know, let's say the idea of this video, which is very important to know, you know, about this it's part of culture because we are knowing something about Japan, especially in places in Tokyo, where, you know, there are experts, because we can call experts, they are people who have a license, that they know how to prepare this. So this, I mean, fugu maybe cannot, you know, cause any damage if you have it in a place that is, you know, certified. Okay, let's go now to this exercise. Pufferfish is very cheap. What is this? I mean, Scarlett, can you answer this? Pufferfish is very cheap. What is it? True or false?
False.
False. Yes, you're correct. All restaurants in Tokyo serve fugu. Scarlett, go on.
False.
Why? Why is it false?
There are special restaurants.
Yeah, there are special restaurants. And who prepares fugu in those special restaurants?
Certified chefs.
Yeah, good. Thank you. Gloria, what about you, Gloria? Gloria, it says in number 3 that pufferfish toxin is 100 times stronger than cyanide. Is it true or is it false, this, Gloria?
False.
I think it's false. Why do you think it's false?
As I can remember, I think it's 1,000 times stronger.
Yes, Gloria, very good. Is 1,000 times, not 100, more than that. 1,000 times stronger. Imagine the power that, you know, this, I mean, let's say poison has, right? 1,000 times stronger than cyanide. Okay, number 4. Gloria, can you continue with number 4? Chef Hayashi has a lot of experience preparing fugu. That's number 4.
Oh, yes, true.
Yeah, this is true. Because what has he done to be to have experience about it? What has he done? What has he got?
An exam.
An exam, okay. So he had to study, and after he has studied, he has to take the exam. If he passes the exam, you know, he can get the license. Right, good. Number 5, Carlos. Aelo, you have to have a special, we are giving to you, but anyway, very simple. You have to have a special license to cook fugu in Japan. Carlos, are you there, or do you have problem again with your, I mean,
Carlos has gone.
Sorry? So, yeah, okay,
Carlos
Tiare, can
has
you
gone.
answer? No, because yesterday he had problems also. You have to have a special license to cook fugu, Tiare.
True.
Yeah, this is true, correct. Tiare, stay there with us. Between 1945 and 1975, 2,500 Japanese people died from eating fugu. Is it true or false?
True.
Yeah, okay, so this is, you know, true. Okay, and number 7, Valentina, it says, nobody dies from fugu poisoning anymore.
That's false.
That is number, what number is it? Number? Yeah, number 7. Number 7. Okay, this is false. Yes, this is false.
Yes, it's false.
Yeah, because we still have people that, you know, I mean, can die from fugu, especially people who prepare fugu at home, because in private homes is where we have today, you know, people that are dying, not in restaurants. Okay, good. Number 8, most poisonings happen after people eat fugu in restaurants. What is this? Let's see. For example, any of you that are here, it could be, for example, Braulio. Most poisonings happen after people eat fugu in restaurants. Braulio, are you there or not? I guess he's not. Okay, Tiare, can you have the answer, please? Most poisonings happen after people eat fugu.
False.
Yeah, false. Why?
It is at home.
Yeah, yes. This is happening, you know, at home. Okay, very good. Let's go with the exercise number 5 here. That says, we are not going to watch it again, but it says, watch the second part. We're not going to watch it. And answer the question and then compare your answers with the partner. What does Yuhi Nagashima study? What does he hope to develop? Okay, can you answer to this question? This is number 5. It says, what does, according to the video, of course, what does Yuhi Nagashima study? And what does he hope to develop? Scarlett, can you be ready to prepare this answer, please? This is just listening comprehension. Listening com.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear that part.
You didn't, but he told us about this. Remember when he says that at the Tokyo University of, in that part when he says at the Tokyo University of Fisheries, you know, Nagashima studies fugu poison carefully. Do you remember that part? And he develops I mean, he hoped to develop an antitoxin You know, a medicine that will stop people from getting food poisoning?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
so
yes.
how can you answer this then? What does Yuki Nagashima study? If you're very concrete.
Antitoxin?
Yeah, or he studies, but what does he study first? The what?
The poison.
Yeah, the poison, the fugu poison. Yeah, fugu poison. All right. And what does he hope to develop? That's what you said.
The cure.
Yeah, okay, so to develop, as you said a little bit before, antitoxin. Good. Antitoxin is the cure, right? Yeah.
Okay.
So he hoped to develop that. This is correct. Okay. You know, here we have the answer. What does Yuki Nagashima study? Fugu poison. And what does he hope to develop? An antitoxin. You know, he hopes to develop an antitoxin. Or as you say, you know, the cure, in other words. How much of the toxin is enough to kill a person, and what are the effects of the toxin? Okay, Gloria, can you help us? How much of the toxin is enough to kill a person? How much? It's very little, but it's enough to kill someone.
I can't remember. I think 25 milligrams.
That
something like that. No?
It's only one, Gloria. Very little, only 1 milligram. Nothing. 1 milligram. Imagine, only 1 milligram. So 1 milligram is enough to kill a person. And what are the effects? When the person, for example, is poisoned with, you know, this fugu, what are the effects of this toxin?
They can breathe.
Yeah, they can't breathe, okay? What does it paralyze? What does it paralyze?
All their body?
Yeah, what parts of the body?
Um,
When you cannot breathe, what are the parts that are working in your body when you can't breathe? How do you call that part? Los pulmones. How do you call los pulmones? You can remember that? Okay. Who can help Gloria? How do you remember? Do you remember pulmones?
Lungs.
Lungs, yes. It paralyzes lungs. The lungs. Yeah, the lungs. Good. The lungs. It paralyzes the lungs. Okay, and the legs and the lungs, and also it paralyzes when people, for example, you know, maybe there is another part of the system of your body that paralyzes. Do you remember? How you say los nervios, Gloria?
I can't remember.
No, come on, los nervios. It's very simple. It's similar to our language.
Nervous?
Nerves. Los nervios,
nerves.
The noun, nerves. Okay. Nerves. Look at this, Gloria. Look at this. Here we have lungs, you see, lungs and nerves. So it paralyzes lungs and nerves. So, you know, the person can move or breathe. So that's why it's very dangerous. Imagine that if you are, I mean, poisoned, you know, with fugu, with the parts that contain the poison. So it's very dangerous because it paralyzes your lungs. So it means that you cannot like breathe, right? So it's very dangerous. What treatment should a person who has eaten pufferfish poison receive? Tiare, can you help us with this, you know, question? What is the treatment? Tiare, I'm going to help you because I guess you have the idea. I'm going to help you. What the typical treatment that someone receives, for example, when your lungs are affected, what do they put to the person to start doing this, to breathe? What is how do you call that? It starts with an R, res, R-E. What does the person needs to use to continue, you know, breathing? That's the only treatment, Tiare. The only treatment is that they, do you know, Gloria, now, respirador? It's like a cognate, como un cognado. Valentina is very similar to our language.
Respirator.
Yeah, respirator. Okay, good. Here we have. You see, Tiare, the person needs to use, this is the treatment. The treatment is that if they are in a hospital, for example, they usually put you a respirator to breathe, right? Because this is the only way that you can, maybe survive while your body is, avoiding or eliminating the toxins, that the poison has caused in your body. What about number 4? How much of the puffer fish does Chef Hayashi throw away? And which 2 parts does he say are poisonous? Who can help us? Valentina, Gloria, Tiare, Scarlett, Carlos.
I know the heart.
Yeah, the heart. Yes.
The heart.
Okay. Yeah. So how much of the puffer fish does Chef Hayashi throw away? He says that he usually.
Half.
Yeah, half. Good. Exactly. Half of the puffer fish. Half. Imagine. So they have the other half is for preparing, this kind of fish. So half. Half of the puffer fish is poison. And then Tiare said that which 2 parts does he say are poisonous? Tiare mentioned 1 that is the heart of this fugu, right? The heart.
And the gills.
And the gills. All right.
Gills.
And the gills. You say gills, gills. So las branquias del pescado, gills, right? The gills. The gills and the heart. So here you have the words for you to see, right? Yeah, half, as Scarlett told me, half, correct. This is half of the puffer fish, is thrown away. And the 2 parts that he say are poisonous are the heart, and the gills, right? So these are the 2 parts of this fish. So that's why, we have to be very careful, right? Okay, so Scarlett, can you summarize the most important things about fugu? According to these questions, according to what you see in the video, maybe you can start, another person can follow you, etc. The idea is to speak, to practice your English. Yeah, according to this video. Okay, Scarlett, you can start, and then another person, for example, Tiare can help you, Valentina, Gloria, any of you, feel free, please, to talk. Carlos, Braulio, the other people, Juan Carlos, etc. Yeah.
Fugu is deadly poisonous.
Yeah.
And need a certified chef to be cooked.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Tiare, can you go on? What else can you say about fugu?
You can eat fugu at Japan in a special restaurant, and you need a special chef to prepare it.
Yes, good. Thank you. Gloria, can you tell me more information about fugu?
If you eat the fugu in a not prepared with a not prepared chef.
Yeah, with a not, with if you prepare, if you
certificate.
Yeah,
chef?
certified, not certificate.
Certified.
Yeah, chef.
Chef. You can. Your body is come to paralyze.
Your body can paralyze. Yeah, your body can paralyze, or can be, if you want. Your body can be paralyzed.
Your body can be paralyzed.
Yeah, paralyzed.
For example, your legs and nerves.
Lungs, Glorita, lungs. The pronunciation is with vowel 10 con la vocal 10. La techito, lungs and nerves.
Lungs and nerves.
Yes.
And so you can move or breathe.
Yeah, okay, good. And what do you have to use if you go to the hospital? What is the treatment?
You need to use a respirator.
Yeah, a respirator, good. All right. And what are the parts that are the most dangerous in a fugu or puffer fish?
The heart and the gills.
And the gills. Okay, good. Very good. All right. Valentina, Can you tell us more about this fish fugu? Why fugu? Why is fugu, so important in Japan? And what has happened, from the time of the World War II up to nowadays with this poisonous fish?
It's important because it has become part of their culture.
Yeah.
Having restaurants with a lot of generations being there, people fully developing a career on studying how to cook the fish, and it's one of the most rare and dangerous attractions for tourists. So it's also important too.
Yes. Yeah, very good. Okay, thank you very much. Very good. Yeah, I am asking you these kind of questions because in case that in your future, not now, but in your future speaking, imagine that you just pick up one piece of paper or you give a number and just says, talk about fugu. That's why, and you have to know about this. You have to use the specific vocabulary, for example, like, the poison that, so some people, experts, that from the University of Tokyo, and the School of Fisheries, for example, are studying how to develop an antitoxin. And, this, when you eat and this, and people don't know how to cook it, well, it can paralyze lungs and nerves of the person. And you have to know these kind of things, and the things that are thrown away, that are the heart and the gills, right? That's very important for you to know. Okay, let's do the next exercise. The next exercise here is, I think it's about, let me see if I can find it here. No, hay que perseguir más back. Wait a minute. Yes. Yeah. So we are going to go to this one, number 6. This is the exercise that we're going to check here, right? Number 6. So I want to zoom for you to see much better. This one, right? Number 6. Number 6 now, what is this? Here we are going to use the words, maybe it's about the vocabulary that we need to use here about this video. And here we have vocabulary, extra vocabulary that is also in the video, right? But here we're going to read it, and according to the context, we are going to use, the right words. It says, complete the information about Tom Caradonna, and then watch the whole video again and check your answers. Yeah, we are not going to watch it again because I think it's enough once. I mean, with once is enough. Number 6, okay. So what does it say here? Tom, this is number 6, right? It says Tom has decided to eat, well, that's very simple, to eat what? Valentina, Gloria, Tiare, Juan, etc. Carlos, it's also with us, Bastian, etc. Yeah, what are you going to put here? In number 1, Tom has decided to eat. Bastian, are you with us?
Yep.
Yeah. Can you tell me the word here in number 1? Do you remember Tom? Tom is the guy that is arriving, is staying in Japan for a couple of, weeks, and she asked, a Japanese woman to go with her because he wanted to try fugu. That's the name of, this is Tom. Has decided to eat. Yeah. What is the word that you're going to put here? To eat what?
Fugu.
Yeah. Fugu, or what is the other name?
Puffer fish.
Yeah, puffer fish. Okay. So Tom has decided to eat puffer fish or fugu. Both are correct. Okay. Puffer, remember I told you is P-U-F-F-E-R, puffer. Puffer fish in the famous Matsumoto restaurant in Tokyo. All right. The restaurant is, do you remember, Bastian, how old is the restaurant? Because it has to do with that. The restaurant is, do you remember? Because it's a very old restaurant.
120?
Yes, good. Yes, that's the answer. Is 120. Yes, 120 years old. Correct. Tom has heard stories about people, and then it says when they eat fugu. Yeah, about people what? about people. What are you going to put here, Bastian? Tom has heard stories about people. People what?
Dying.
Dying, correct. People dying, dying. So I want to spell that D-Y-I-N-G. Okay? So about people dying when they eat fugu. But he's not worried. Chef Hayasashi, I guess, tells Tom and Aki that everything will be. Yeah, now we're going to ask another. Beatriz, Gloria Beatriz. What is the word that you're going to complete there? Will be. We need an adjective there. Will be.
All right.
Yeah, will be fine. That's what he uses the adjective fine, but it's all right is like a synonym, right? Will be fine, will be fine. All right, he shows them his fugu chefs. Chefs what? Chefs.
License.
Yeah, license. Do you spell license? You spell L-I-C-E-N-S-E, license, right? Correct. The meal that Tom and Aki eat has what? Different dishes. Do you remember? Tiare?
Many.
Sorry?
Many.
Many. Yeah, it says, well, he said in the video 8 different dishes. That's why many. 8 different dishes, and includes, you know, it says here, say topped with a cooked fugu, what? Fugu. How do you call that part of the fugu? How do you call that? This is the, for example, this is the part that helps the fish to swim. How do you call? That is it's a thin triangular part of a fish's body that helps it to swim. That's the word that we need here. Do you remember? Sorry?
Yields?
No.
Fin.
Yeah, good, Tiare. Fin. F-I-N. F-I-N. Fin. You have it here in the vocabulary. Here, this is the one. Fin. You see it says this is a thin triangular part of a fish's body that helps it to swim. Okay. During the meal, Tom laughs and says that he can still
Breathe.
at the end, yeah, he can still breathe. Okay, breathe. And how do you spell breathe, Tiare? Breathe.
B-R-E-A-T. No sé.
H, my dear, H-E. Yeah, okay, good. Breathe. You know, B-R-E-A-T-H-H-E. Breathe. All right, good. Okay, so then we have this. After you watch, now we have watched the video, we have learned a lot about fugu, so we know vocabulary about fugu, we know the fin, you know, which is the, this is the triangular, you know, part of a fish's body that helps all, maybe most of the fishes to swim, right? This is the fin. And we know about puffer fish, you know, which is the type of fish that can kill, you know, somebody. And also we know about the toxins, you know, this is like the poison. We know about that it paralyzes people. We know about the gill, which is the part of the body that the fish uses to breathe, right? And we know, you know, I mean, cyanide, this is, you know, a type of poison that is also, cyanide can kill people. But this is, you know, the poison that the fugu has is more powerful than cyanide because it kills more people. Just 1 milligram, you know, can kill someone. Okay, so let's go to this part. It says after you watch. Well, it says you can role play an interview in a fugu restaurant. Okay, so the idea is to put the vocabulary and everything into practice. But wait a minute, I'm going to go to number 8 first, and then I can go to the number 7. Because in number 8, we can discuss for a minute or some minutes, you know, about these important 3 questions that have to do with this unit. Okay, it says, number 1, what traditional dishes do people like to eat in your country? Okay, let's see, for example, maybe we can ask Bastian. Bastian, can you answer to this question, please? What, you know, this is the first question in exercise number 8. What traditional dishes do people like to eat in Chile? Can you tell me some of the traditional dishes that people like to eat?
I don't know.
You don't know? You don't know the traditional dishes, Bastian? Come on, Bastian, you're a Chilean man and you should know this. Who can help Bastian? Scarlett, do you know? Scarlett has a lot of information. She, you know, she reads a lot, I guess. And maybe she can also help us. Are you still there? Yes.
Sí.
Okay, can you tell us?
What was the
This, it says number 8, question 1, that Bastian says he doesn't know. What traditional dishes do people like to eat in your country?
empanadas?
Yeah, Bastian, remember, empanadas is very traditional. What else? Scarlett, can you give him some other examples, Bastian, apart from empanadas?
It could be chaquican.
Yeah, it could be charquican, which is traditional dish in Chile. Yes. What else? Because we have a lot of traditional dishes. Yes. Empanadas, charquican. What else?
Porotos with riendas.
Yeah, porotos. Yeah, porotos with riendas. That means porotos beans with kind of a spaghetti. That's what they say with riendas.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Also, how do you call that?
Cazuela.
Sorry?
Cazuela.
Cazuela, yeah, cazuela is also, you know, a traditional dish in Chile. Okay, Sebastian, now, do you remember, Bastian, or not? These traditional dishes that, you know, Scarlett has mentioned?
Yeah.
Yeah, which of these ones do you like? Do you like empanadas, charquicán, cazuela, porotos con riendas?
I like empanadas and cazuela.
Yeah, empanadas and cazuela, right. These are traditional dishes and they are very easy to prepare, right? Empanadas, you can buy the dough, it's ready now, so it's easier. So you just have to prepare, you see, I mean, the most important ingredients of empanadas. All right. Question number 2, are there any of these dishes dangerous? Are any of these dishes dangerous or unusual? I don't think so. These dishes, we're talking about our traditional dishes that you mentioned, cazuela, empanadas, charquicán, porotos con rienda, etc. Are these, any of these dishes dangerous or unusual?
I think maybe the anticucho might be dangerous because you might stick your mouth with the stick.
Okay, right?
I agree.
Yeah, okay, I think so. This is, I mean, it could be dangerous, yeah. Also, the pieces of meat, yes, you know, so this is something that it could be dangerous in some cases. And do you think it is important to maintain the traditional dishes of a country? For example, is it important to maintain, for example, the empanadas, the cazuela, charquicán, porotos con rienda, you know, these kind of things in Chile? Is it important to maintain or keep the traditional dishes of a country?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. Why is it important, Valentina?
Because we can keep
maybe our culture.
Yeah, we can keep our culture
Yeah.
alive.
Yeah, because remember, food is important in terms of culture, right? Because you can identify, for example, a country also because of the food that, you know, the inhabitants of that country, you know, eat. So that's why, you know, when we talk about food, food is part of a culture. It's part of culture, especially, you know, in different parts of the world, right? Okay, so I don't know if maybe you can tell me or not if fried fish is a traditional dish in Chile or not. Fried fish?
I
No?
think it is.
Yeah, maybe it is.
It is.
And what do you think about this food that you like eating? For example, I have heard some of you in the university that you like going to some places in Valparaiso where they sell, how do you call this? Jota Cruz, for example, they sell this fish, food that is French fries, pieces of meat, fried onion, a fried egg.
Chorrillana.
Chorrillana.
That's it, chorrillana. Is it a traditional dish in Valparaiso?
I would say yes.
Yeah, I would say yes, especially among university students, because when they come to Valparaiso, they always ask me to go to Jota Cruz to eat chorrillanas or other places, not only Jota Cruz. Jota Cruz is the first restaurant that started being famous for its chorrillanas, right? So maybe chorrillanas is famous among porteños, right? Good, and it's a very delicious dish anyway. Maybe it's not very healthy, but it's delicious, right? So sometimes we are, you know, in the mood to eat chorrillanas. Okay, and so let's go back now to the last point, which is an interview in a fugu restaurant. So what do we have to do here? So one student, for example, has invited you to eat in a fugu restaurant, but you are a little worried because you don't know how they prepare, you know, this kind of food. So you want to ask the chef. That's a student A. And student B, you're a chef in a fugu restaurant. So you have to use these ideas, you know, below to prepare what you are going to say. For example, chef's qualifications to prepare fugu. Maybe you can ask for these things. How long the chef has worked with fugu, which parts are dangerous, how much of the fish is dangerous, what happens if you eat the poison, and what the restaurant does in an emergency. Okay, so I want to ask, for example, Valentina, and maybe it could be with Bastian, both of you. Bastian, you are going to be A, so a friend has invited you to eat in a fugu restaurant, but you're a little bit worried. So you're going to ask, and Valentina is the chef. So you're going to ask Valentina all the questions you have in mind about, you know, this chef in this fugu restaurant. So you have some ideas. You can ask about the chef's qualifications, how long did she has worked here as a good chef, and you can ask about the parts that are dangerous in a fugu, and what happens if it has the poison, etc. Okay. Yeah, Valentina, you are a chef. You are, you know, a chef that has all the qualifications. You know, you have the license to prepare this kind of, food that is called puffer fish or fugu. And you know, Bastian is in the restaurant now, and Bastian is kind of worried, so he wants to ask you. He wants to talk, you know, to the chef, and you are the chef. Okay. Yeah, Valentina and Bastian, you are our, you see, maybe important, let's say, speakers here. Right. The stage is yours. You can start. Bastian, you start saying hello to the chef, right? He has now here in the restaurant and you want to talk to her. Now, you say hello to her first, and then you can say that you have some questions to ask her. Okay, Bastian? Bastian, are you there? Is Bastian with us or not? Valentina, are you listening?
Bastian had to
leave?
Go out and do something.
Yeah,
urgent.
okay. So wait, okay, don't worry, don't worry.
Excuse him.
Yeah, we can ask another student. Maybe we can ask Gloria. Gloria, can you, you're going to be now the person that has just arrived at the restaurant and you want to talk to the chef. You want to find out all the questions that I have, told you. Okay, Gloria?
Okay.
Feel free, tranquilita, you feel free. You can ask, the chef, that is a very, very good chef in this place. Okay, let's start. Say hello to her first.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm here because I want to eat some fugu.
Yeah, there's no problem. You can ask me anything.
Oh yeah, thank you. I know that the chefs need a certification to prepare fugu. That's true.
Yes, that's true. You need a license that proves that you know how to cook properly the fish, so you don't poison people.
And your chef has that license?
She's the chef, remember. She's the chef.
She's okay.
Yeah, Valentina is the chef. She has the license, yes.
Of course, I trained for years to have my certificate.
Okay. And how many years do you have to preparing this dish?
I have been doing this for 20 years.
Wow.
Oh, a long time. Which part of the fugu are dangerous?
Most of the fish is dangerous, but the most important parts are the heart and the gills.
And what happens if I eat a part, for example, the heart of the fish?
In the case that happens, the poison might get to your nerves and you might shut down. You are not going to react and your lungs will start to fail. Right now, there's no cure for the poison, but there's a treatment with a respirator.
Okay, so it's not really dangerous because you know how to prepare the fugu.
Yes, it's rarely people poison. In restaurants, since most of the chef had the license, a big part of the people that get poisons are when they prepare it at home.
Oh, yeah. If that happens, what do you do?
If that happens,
like the restaurant?
In that case, the restaurant does not make responsible for the. It makes responsible half and a half, because people must know what they are eating, and as restaurant we want to provide the best experience and the best chefs like me.
Wow,
okay,
good.
So yeah, I want to eat a fugu.
To eat fugu.
I will cook it right away.
Okay, so you
Okay,
wait for a
thank you.
minute. Okay, very good. The only thing is, Gloria, remember, it's not certification, right?
Yes, yes.
It's not the word certification, it's a certificate, okay? Or you can
Certificate,
also
oh,
ask,
yes.
or you can, if you want, Gloria, you can say, for example, do you have a license? Because they receive a license, right?
Yes.
I mean, so you can also ask instead of certificate, but it's a synonym, but you can also use license, because they all, when they study for some months to prepare fugu, they receive a license, right?
Okay.
I mean, that's the word that you can use. Okay, very good. Congratulations, you did it very good. So this is the end of the unit. So I'm going to stop the recording, and I'm going to stop, sharing the screen here. Jorge Gonzalez was with us. Oh, I didn't know. Okay, so babies, I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to see you next Friday. And from next Friday, I'm going to start checking the units 4, 4, 5, and 6 for the future unit of grammar that we are going to have after these 2 weeks. Okay, so I'm going to start. I am just started preparing special guía, you know, because I think it's much better, where I'm going to include most of the things that are going to be very important to know. So you have to know these parts in Unit 4, in Unit 5, in Unit 6, right? Because they are very important for you. These are the competencies that you need to have in order to go to another level. So this is what we're going to start checking from next Friday, this coming Friday, and then we continue on Monday and Tuesday, and maybe we can try to come to the end on next Friday, because we have to include lots of things. Remember, Unit 4, Unit 5, and Unit 6 for this last unit, and also it's going to be useful for you to start preparing not only for the grammar, but also for the speaking test, okay? So, and maybe some other aspects of the previous units for people who were absent, all right? Okay, so I'm going to stop here. I'm going to see you next Friday. So thank you very much. Remember to check the videos. I'm going to...
Thanks.
You're welcome, baby. Bye-bye. See you.
Bye.
Be good. Take care of yourself, okay?
See ya.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye. See you. Massage.